Alright guys, we are jumping into our very first match for this Pauper League. And we have won the die roll, so we are definitely playing first. And this hand is keepable, however, it kind of depends what we're playing against. The Sunlands could help us against some early aggression. Let's go ahead and lead on our tapped land. And this is probably the best matchup we could hope for in terms of the opening hand. The Dispel's good, the Sunlance is good. We draw into a Journey to Nowhere, and I think we definitely just want to play that on this young wolf as a 1-for-1 removal spell. So fortunately, we drew the right answer at the right time. And Sunlance should allow us to stop whatever comes next, particularly with a Dispel on deck. So I think we'll just go ahead and Sunlance now. If he has some type of double mutagenic growth, we can Dispel it, and then if this ends up resolving and killing the guy, we can just play the Prophetic Prism out. Otherwise, we'll Dispel and play the tapped land. So mutagenic growth makes it a 3/3. And Sunlance deals 3, so I think we'll let that resolve. And if he tries something else, I'll Dispel. And that should mean that this Pit Skulk is going down. Again, this is the best opening hand possible in terms of this matchup. Looks like he had a third mutagenic growth. So his guy's going to survive. And he's going to have free reign next turn. And now we're taking 5. And we have nothing. Looks like he might have one more pump spell in the form of a mutagenic growth or something. Let's go ahead and draw a card. And we draw Preordain. So do I want to leave up Counterspell and just Preordain next turn? I think so. We have some time here. Meaning we have quite a clock. Okay, so it looks like what's going to end up happening is we're going to take 5. Then we're going to Preordain into an answer and then counter his vines. So I think we'll just counter this. It's his last card. This saves us 4 life. So we go to 11 instead of going to 7. Now I can try and find a removal spell. And these are both lands, so I'm going to bottom those. We already have our black source. And we are considerably flooded here with only a couple turns left to draw into something. So, let's see what happens. That triple mutagenic growth and the double rancor is pretty disgusting. And it looks like he has another creature. And we find our Journey. This is really rough because if I actually Journey the Pit Skulk, we just lose. So I have to Journey the River Boa here and hope he has nothing. We're going to go to 1, and then we have to draw another removal spell. So that's what's going to happen. The extra point of power is what's forcing us to deal with this. I see no reason to hold back lands. And he has a Bone Splitter, which is going to give him game 1. Unless he misses his attack. He doesn't. Alright, so, he only had 3 creatures there, and he was still able to get there. It's really the mutagenic growth that did it. I think we're going to have a strong chance game 2, but then game 3 might be very tough because he's going to be on the play. So I want to remove some of these hard counters. I think Capsize is probably slow also. And the rest of the deck is pretty necessary. So we want to bring in these cards. Gut Shot looks like it's going to have some targets. Not the best answer in general. Definitely want to leave in the Dispel. We don't have a Cop Green, which would be stellar here. So we're going to have to be satisfied with the Cop Reds, or sorry, with just the sideboard we have. So I'm going to go ahead and leave in 2 hard counters. So we've got 4 1-mana removal spells, a 0-mana removal spell, 6 at 2, 3 at... Yeah, this looks pretty solid. I think we have a decent matchup here. Again, we just got pretty ranched by the triple mutagenic growth. Alright, so we'll definitely play first for game 2. And we have a hand that we can keep, even though it has a 7-drop. We do have the removal spell and the divination, so I'm going to keep this hand. And it's going to be on curve, meaning we're going to be able to stop his 1-mana attacker, then draw some cards. So I'm just going to remove the Nettle Sentinel now. And next turn I may even cast Preordain. Young Wolf appears. So the thing I like about casting Preordain this turn is that it allows us to play a tapped land and set up our mana for Mystical Teachings, which is probably going to be pretty good for us. So I think Preordain is fine. And he's representing Vines of Vastwood, obviously. Now, Sunlance is a good card in this matchup. It's not good for this particular board state. So I think I'm going to end up bottoming both cards. And we'll play our tapped land now. So we're on track to cast Mystical Teachings and cast Muldrifter. I don't know what we want to teach up. Perhaps a Last Breath. Looks like he's got all pump spells here. No more creature threats. So, and we're at 20. So I think I can afford to Preordain and Divination as opposed to leaving up Teachings. However, hard casting the Muldrifter is pretty nice. I still think I'm going to Preordain. I think it's a little better. Serrated Arrows and a land. Yeah, Serrated Arrows is not a good answer to Young Wolf here. The land, I think, is okay. And I'm going to use the Divination side of Muldrifter. We're pretty much just trying to get up to Ruin Processor. I think that's going to give us a huge advantage in this game. Okay, so now we may want to leave up Teachings for Righteous Blow on the Nettle Sentinel. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So we can definitely do that. Also, Dispel's an option. I'm not wholly convinced that the Righteous Blow will resolve, but I think we can give it a shot. We can also just try for a Dispel if he does nothing. Or if he goes for a pump, we're a little more likely to... I'm also lagging here. Seemingly. Trying to play my land. So I may have to close out of this and try and replay it. I'm a little concerned about doing that, but yeah, absolutely nothing is responding here. Okay, so we got disconnected. So now we're going to have to restart. Okay, let's log back in. And hopefully the match will just pop up as soon as possible. Alright, alright. Looks like we are getting back into the thick of it. Okay, something's going on. We may have crashed again. Really not sure. Looks like maybe we did. Oops. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, I'm back trying to log into Magic Online, and let's see if our match will boot up for us. Okay, looks like it is. Hopefully we can get into the game. I think it's just taking a bit of time to boot up. My match has started. Where is it? Okay. So, I'm trying to maximize this. All right, we played our land. Did we? 1, 2, 3, 4? No, we didn't. It did not recognize that. So now we'll F4. Again, we're going to leave up Mystical Teachings. He did not play a land, so we don't need to worry about Groundswell. I'm going to wait till the blocker step to do anything. So he's pretty much going to... I could also just stop during the damage step. Which means I take less damage. His guy is still an attacker. Yeah, we're just going to go for it. So had I done that during the blocker step, when he responds with vines, I end up taking 6 instead of just taking 2. So we're going to start there. We don't have a black source to flashback teachings with. So we'll see what happens. Looks like he's going to use the vines. So I get to untap, cast Artificer's Epiphany, play Kabira Crossroads, go up to 18. Then next turn I get to play Ruined Processor and gain another 5 life. And he drew into another Nettle Sentinel. Well, that's pretty rough. Oh, Repeal's not bad. We may end up doing it on our turn. Okay, so let's draw 2 cards. Or Last Breath. So I think I want to Last Breath the Young Wolf before he untaps and plays Vines of Vastwood. I could also wait. I could also just do it on his end step. Alright, we're going to leave this stuff up because we have an opportunity here to maybe get a 2-for-1 going. This is 5 damage, but we're getting all of it back. He's going for a mutagenic growth. So I think I want to go for Repeal in response. He's threatening 2, 6, 7. He could do 11 damage to me. We also can save the Repeal for that Journey to Nowhere. I guess I'll go for it. This gets countered by pretty much any pump spell, though, so I think that's probably incorrect. My reasoning, though, is that I want to play Processor, get rid of this Nettle Sentinel, then I can repeal my Journey to Nowhere. That was probably just way too corner case. So now we're taking 11, but I'm going back up to 12 from 7 here. So that might be good. And I get to draw a card off of that. So we've gotten rid of 2 Vines of Vastwood. I think that's going to help us here. Though he does have a lot of pump spells, which could just end up being a huge problem. But that's about the best play we can make. Make a huge Eldrazi and gain 5 life. And free up our Journey to Nowhere. Okay, looks like he's got some groundswells for us. I'm going to go ahead and block the most threatening creature. Looks like he's just trying to go around us. Okay, mutagenic growth. I go to 7. Alright, this is looking pretty good for us. Echoing Truth, very nice as well. I may just want to cast that instead of Journey to Nowhere. Or sorry, instead of Repeal. Repeal's cheaper if I use it as a 1-mana bounce. Or sorry, a 2-mana unsummon draw card. This actually lets me draw a card, though. I could also repeal my own guy. It's way too expensive. Let's go ahead and draw. Oh, beautiful. For Spacious Skies. So let's go ahead and replay this. I may even just play Oblivion Ring and start attacking him. So I want to turn this game around quickly. Especially... Oh, and he has nothing. Good for us. He's on a 2-turn clock. How quickly things turn around. Just on a dime. I mean, it's completely on a dime. We took this game over. This thing swings for a ton of damage. I mean, it just needs to hit you twice, and then you're dead to rights. So that was fantastic for us. He's got a lot of pump spells. He's playing 4 mutagenic growth, it seems. 4 vines, 4 rancor, probably 4 groundswell. We are going to be on the draw here. That's going to be pretty difficult. The counter spells are so expensive. I think we may actually just want to capsize, even though it's a 3-mana bounce on the draw. It's not very good for us. I mean, I guess we just keep it like this. We could play 1 Nihil Spellbomb. And what that does is it allows us to pair maybe a gut shot to get rid of a young wolf, or perhaps we can get some rancors, and could just be a cheap cycler depending how early we get access to black. So we're going into game 3. This is going to be a very close one. And this hand I will keep. The only bad thing about it is that both of our lands come into play tapped, but we have 3 removal spells, so it's about as good as we can hope for, even though they're not 1-mana removal spells. Quirion Ranger. So I'm going to start with the Cove, keep my options open here. At least that's not the most threatening one. He probably has a Pit Skulk coming down. We might be very far behind on tempo. Yep. Yeah, we're playing catch-up, that's for sure. Oh, okay, so not so much anymore. So I can Journey or Last Breath. Last Breath gets pretty punished by a pump. He did not use the Ranger. I guess he didn't need to. So if I just get rid of Nettle Sentinel, that's the most threatening creature. That seems fine. Might be better to get rid of Quirion Ranger. It actually might be the best to get rid of Young Wolf, but we do have the Nihil Spellbomb around. So I think I just want to preserve my life total for now. Slow him down a bit. Hope that he runs out of threats, runs out of steam at some point. He's got 2 Young Wolves, so now the Spellbomb is going to be somewhat critical. And he's leaving up a bunch of permission, so I'm going to start by trying to draw some answers here. Now, what does Mystical Teachings get me? Pretty much nothing right now. I need to find lands to even use it. Echoing Truth is potentially nice for us. Let's go ahead and preordain again. Ancient Den and Tranquil Cove. Of these 2, I think we want the untapped land. I don't know that we don't want to be drawing 2 lands in a row. Kavira Crossroads will buy us some time. And then we have a Last Breath / Echoing Truth, which might be good. Okay, so I think I just leave up all my mana. I could go for a main phase Last Breath. I think actually what I want to do is leave up all my mana, possibly Echoing Truth his Young Wolves on his end step just to buy me time, and go from there. I'm at 14. Yeah, I think I'll go for that. And then if that doesn't work, I can go for a Last Breath or a Repeal. That did work. So now I guess I will go for the Last Breath, which he'll probably use a... Wow, I don't know what the heck's going on. but I'm going to draw a card. Find that very odd. So this Nihil Spellbomb might actually work out pretty well. Okay. Okay. So end step, I'll go for a repeal. And that's a solid draw. I think we actually just want to cash that in. We basically just need to find a ruined processor at this point, because, and then we can also set up a block here, because we're otherwise, I mean, we have enough mana. Ooh. Yep, that'll do. Now what? Looks like that's it. He has another young wolf in his hand. And he has another ranger. Yep, he's still got a vicious board here. I think I'm going to actually have to cycle this off, which is kind of sad. Just way too many lands right now. But finding a ruined processor might be good enough. The contents of his hand is a bit of a mystery to me. And all that bounce didn't slow him down enough. Meaning, I felt like we didn't. I mean, Muldrifter is one of our better draws, so I can't really say we didn't draw anything. Okay, so looks like a Groundswell is coming. That's 7. That puts us very low, guys. Definitely hoping for a processor. I know we bottomed one, but... So that's 8, 9. Okay. Means we have to draw something. Oh, he's just going for it, so it's going to be GG's, guys. Unfortunately, we have 4 lands in hand and can't do anything with them. So we're starting out 0-1, not a great start. Let's see what we can do in the upcoming matches. Thanks for watching. Hi, folks. We are preparing for the second match in this Pauper League. We're playing blue-white control, splashing black. And we're playing against some filthy elves. We can keep this hand, so we will. Got a turn 2 removal spell. It's not amazing. We do have only 2 spells and we have 5 lands, but I think we can keep this hand just because we have a 1 mana removal spell to help us. There's a Delver. So let's start there and see what the future holds for us. Hopefully he taps pretty low so that the Sunlance can get through. Otherwise, we might just be leaving up Counterspell. But I think what we're doing is going to be using the Sun Lance. This looks like it might be blue-black Delver with Gurmag Angler and Sultai Scavenger. However, we don't know yet because we've only seen Brainstorm, Think Twice. Yeah, it looks like that might be what it is. It could also be some variation of mono blue. Okay, he has a second Delver, so I'm just going to have to do my best here and stop the Delver that is already flipped. And we'll go from there. We want to get up 2 blue sources in case next turn I'm looking to just play a Bojuka Bog or something. Here's a Deprive. Okay, let's hope he doesn't have black mana, and that'll help us in a few ways. Well, we can develop our mana. We can stand to take a few more hits. It would be nice to catch his Think Twice with the Bojuka Bog, but as it stands right now, first of all, there's really no reason to play the Bog this early, but there's also no guarantee that we're going to catch the Think Twice at any point. And as it stands right now, I think what I'm doing next turn is playing Prophetic Prism and leaving up Counter Magic. This also slows him down from being able to cast an Angler, so there's that. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to play a tapped land or an untapped land and play that Prophetic Prism. This sets up Artificer's Epiphany at some point. Okay, so this is great. Let's go ahead and just pass the turn. So now we can fight. Yeah, he's going to flash it back. Now we can fight and get the journey to resolve. And if we have an untapped land, we can actually just leave up another counter spell because we're going to dispel this first one. It's a crossroads. That's okay. We will just go for it here. We know about the Deprive. This does open the floodgates for a Gurmag Angler. It's possible I wanted to wait another turn. Kabira Crossroads does help out a little bit. Yeah, he might be able to just slam a Gurmag Angler here. He only has 2 cards in the yard. So he does need an untapped land or a fetch land. He has the untapped land. Well, there's another Delver. And we have another Journey. The only problem with this is I don't get to counter the Angler if it comes down. I think I'm going to wait one more turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I have quadruple blue. So I'm going to wait one more turn. He might actually hit me with a flip Delver, but I have an answer for it. And I also have 2 counter spells that I want to be able to use. So he did flip. And here comes the attack. I'm trying to not only keep myself prepared for this Delver, but also for a Gurmag Angler. Quite an ability to draw 2 cards for 3 mana instant speed. That's really nice. Looks like he's going to try and counter it, though. And I'm actually going to let that resolve. I was going to fight over it, but I don't think I need to. And here, I think I just do this on his turn. Uh-oh. More lag. Not again. I think we're crashing again. Yeah, because nothing is highlighted here. Not another crash. What the heck's going on? This is an instant. I should be able to use it. Okay, I'm going to try and rejoin this match. Okay, did that help? I don't get this. I have priority. This is an instant speed spell. So what the hell is going on? Oh, it doesn't have power 2 or less. Oh no. Well, that's a huge screw up. I'm going to 5 when I don't need to. Okay, that sucks. Guess I didn't think that one through. So now I have to fight over this journey, and I'm not going to have enough to protect against Angler. Oh, I guess I am. So it looks like the rest of his hand is just removal spells. That's good for us. Flashback. So we did lose some time there, but we're actually ahead on time right now, which is great. I might even get the Bajuka Bog back as opposed to the Kabira Crossroads. Yep, that's fine. Okay. And here comes the fight. Yeah, I think it actually doesn't matter if we get the Bajuka Bog or not. So I'll just start with this. We probably want the Crossroads. He has enough mana to cast anything anyway. Okay. Well, we have an answer for another scavenger and half of an answer to an angler, so let's see. Oh, nice. He milled out 2 of his creatures. Beautiful. So 2 scavengers down, 3 delvers down. Main phase teachings. Okay. Interesting. For Gush. Okay, resolves. 2 of his cards are islands. Didn't find a threat, or is just waiting. And here's our own mystical teachings. Okay, so we're just going to wait on that one. Could get a capsize, but I think I'm more interested in getting counterspell. We can get capsize later. Okay, we knew about that island as well. All of his cards are unknowns. What else can we get with this? Yeah, we might be interested in getting capsize, but for now I think I'm going to get counterspell. He's leaving up teachings also. Looks like he's going to counter our teachings. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I have enough mana to get another counter. But for now, my plan is to get another teachings. So interesting take on the angler strategy. Also incorporating teachings and gush. Oh, here we go. Well, I'm going to fight back. Counterspell. Though it seems pretty obvious that he either has a counterspell of his own or just another angler. So he's got 2 anglers left. We've got basically nothing going on. We do have a Sunlance, but I think he only plays 2 scavengers. Let's find out. 25 cards in library. Flashing back on his main phase. Okay, gets another counterspell. So we'll just pass now. It might get to a point where we're going to Echoing Truth our journeys. Use a Sunlance and a Last Breath on the other one. He's doing it again. Okay. So he has one more counterspell. Nope, he's getting a Brainstorm. And I'm not going to do anything. Well, I think we're going to wait on that. Because we know he can counter it. It's also likely he can just kill it, but that might end up being a problem. Him just killing all of our guys. So here comes an angler, but I think he's actually going to mill out before we do. So we're going to go for an Echoing Truth, and then we're going to go for a Ruined Processor. Actually, we're going to go for a Last Breath, then we're going to go for an Echoing Truth. Okay, he counters that. Could be just a waste of an Echoing Truth, but I'm trying to get all of his counter magic down. Resolves. So now I'll go for the Sunlance first. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's just do this. Free up one of our journeys. And he's got one more angler in the deck. I think all the delvers are down. Yeah, all the delvers are gone. He's got one angler in his hand. So I think he has basically 2 ways left to win the game. He's going to kill our guy. Probably end up just having to sacrifice it. He's probably going to kill all of our guys, but he's also going to mill himself out. Now, this might be a problem if this angler sticks. Yeah, he got both of them. So, yeah, this is going to be rough. We might just be playing 2 Mull Drifters this turn. Ooh. Dude, I guess I'm leaving that up. I could have capsized my own Mull Drifter. So, we're not out of the woods here. It's looking like I want to capsize my journey, or I could just play another Mull Drifter. I mean, there's definitely a lot of options. I almost have double capsize mana up. The fact that he just cast Brainstorm means he could have a pretty good handle on. He could have a counterspell in hand. So I may just want to cast my Mull Drifter first. It's going to gush right now. So I guess I'll go ahead and capsize. Maybe not. See what happens. Well, this is kind of a bad spot for us. But I'm going to do this now so he doesn't have up double blue. But I am going to 3, and I don't know what's going to happen after that. It's not looking great. We might actually be down this game. Good old Gurmag Angler, man. So I can double capsize, which is looking like what I have to do. Which is kind of sad. We lose the capsize. 3, 6. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, actually, I can do it with buyback. So I can just do this every turn, assuming it works. Here I was thinking I had to cast it without buyback. So, assuming we got all of his counter spells, I can just do this every turn. Deprive. Let's see. 1 deprive, 2 counter spells, 3 counter spells, 4 counter spells, and a second deprive. So I think he's also trying to figure out if he has any other win cons. Kind of looking like he doesn't. So his capsize might actually be saving our butts. He can't cast them both. We just won the game. He can't cast them both in one turn. So we're gonna be able to capsize every turn. Okay, cool. Well, that's huge, especially because he's behind on time by about 4 minutes. So these last breaths are not very good here, especially compared to Oblivion Ring. I was thinking about cursing him, but I don't think we need to. He's just going to mill himself out. Righteous Blow's okay. I mean, it's kind of got the same problem that Last Breath has. Nihil Spellbomb I'm not too interested in. Arrows I think is fine. Maybe not as necessary here. But most of his threats get out of the range of Last Breath. At least a pair of arrow counters and a Sunlance can get a Gurmag Angler. I think we want this too, at least one copy. Repeal's probably not great. He's got a lot of 6 and 7 mana threats. So maybe something like that. I think he's bringing in Duress against us. He might be bringing in some kind of graveyard hate. It's a little hard to say. Well, Capsize saved the day there. So now we're on the draw. We have a 1-lander with a Preordain that I'm going to keep. Because Preordain and being on the draw is just that good. He mulliganed to 6. And he kept the card on top. And he has a Delver. So depending on how low he taps his mana, we may remove it. Draws flips on a Thought Scour. Casts another Delver. Super aggro. So we're going to Sunlance and Preordain, it looks like. So since I know that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to play around Daze by playing the land out. Need to find some lands, and I think we want both. So top. So we have an option. We can probably going to leave up Counterspell next turn, and then Oblivion Ring with Dispel backup. So he did flip again. Lots of instants and sorceries in his deck. So we'll take the hit. We're looking okay, though. Especially because I believe he missed a land there. Yeah, so let's just do this. He's going to Thought Scour. Yes, I will allow it. Puts a Dispel in the graveyard and a land. Turn that off. I'm actually going to turn this one off too. That's a remnant of round 1. Here comes a Brainstorm. So we're in a tricky position because If we tap low for O-Ring, it lets Gurmag Angler through. So I may actually keep up defenses once again. But my hope is that he goes for the Angler now. That would be best case scenario for us. Especially if he misses another land drop. He didn't miss a land drop. So he may have a Dispel. I'm just going to try and kill it. Yeah, this is looking like Dispel. Or not. So now we just go for the Oblivion Ring because it seems like he doesn't have much going on. And I could Dispel Mystical Teachings at some point, just because it doesn't seem like he's going to get to 6 mana anytime soon. And here I think I'm just going to leave up everything possible. Gush. So I think that's okay. His mana is going to dissipate, and then we get a free Teachings out of it. Ooh, he's going to have the 3/3. So I think I'm going to draw 2 cards and try and find the counter. Okay, that's good enough as well. One, two, three, four, five, six. I think I'll bottom the land. Yeah, he's pretty far behind, but he does have a lot of spells. He's got at least 1 island in hand and a Teaching, so we know some of his hand. He's got nothing in the graveyard, so his Delve guys are way far off. He played his land. I think I'm just going to counter this. Because next turn we're going to Teachings and counter his threat if he has one. Ooh, that's pretty good too. Okay, so we just pass. I can just start capsizing his lands if I want. That's fine. I guess I'm getting a counter spell. I have the Journey for this. Yep, Journey to Nowhere. So the game's still going on. We got a lot of resources. Oh, he's going to snuff out his own guy, and I didn't. Oh, no. I didn't respond. Wow. What the hell's wrong with me? Oh, it's still going to work, though. Amazing. Oh, no, it's not. Crap. That was so stupid. I was just on autopilot. I need to focus a little more. Not be so quick. I feel confident we'll find an answer. I can, of course, try and capsize my Journey to Nowhere. So there's that. He's going to cast Mystical Teachings, which is going to give us free reign here. So I found a Sunlance. So we kind of got ourselves out of that one pretty well. So the question is, do I want to leave up double counter here, or do I want to just get Teachings? I think I want to get... It's not clear. If I draw an untapped land, it doesn't matter, but it might have been superior to get double counter, though he doesn't have enough right now to play a threat and counter backup, unless that threat is the Sultai Scavenger. So Delver of Secrets. So I'll let it resolve. And I have a number of ways to deal with it. I think I'll just untap for now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So for the time being, I'm just going to pass. Man, we might have just blown it, but... Okay, this guy flips. I think I may just go for the Echoing Truth. No, I think I'm going to get a... Do I have a removal spell? I can get a Dispel. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a little wonky. I can also just Echoing Truth my Journey to Nowhere. Or I can Echoing Truth his creature. No, I don't want to Echoing Truth my Journey to Nowhere. So... This is pretty important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could get a Dispel. I think that's what I want. And he might just counter this, which gives me freedom to bounce this or capsize something. So he's going to counter. Alright, so it's looking like the coast is kind of clear. Yeah, I'm just going to bounce this right now and then leave up everything. Or rather, leave up 2 counter spells. And I have a capsize. There's a huge tension with Gush. This 6-mana spell right here. And we're going to counter his Delve creature too. That's the plan anyway. I don't know what I'm doing after that. Probably just leaving up Teachings. Okay, Thought Scour puts a counterspell in the graveyard. So I think I dismissed this because he just cast it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have Teachings for counterspell. Seems like the safest line right now. Got a lot of expensive spells in hand. Okay, so we know this is going to resolve. I could have also just capsized my own Journey to Nowhere, but that sets us up for another snuff out. We have to be careful about not decking, but I think for now we can do this. Yeah, we can probably tap out here. But Jukabog would be sweet. Preordain is not bad either. We have Teachings flashback. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Definitely don't want the land. Another Muldrifter's probably fine. Okay, so we have Teachings 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's our last Teachings, by the way. So Gurmag Angler's probably coming for us. This is another weird matchup where people feel like Stormbound Geist is somehow effective when the only way we deal with creatures is by exiling. So, I'm at 10. I think I could start with O-Ring, and then if it doesn't resolve, I still have the mana up to capsize his creature. Ooh, he did get himself through 2 lands. Okay, so I'm just going to leave up Teachings Flashback and Capsize. So we're just going to get a counter spell here. He dispels it. That's fine. So we have to be careful here about running out of cards ourselves. So I don't think I'm going to cast Deep Analysis yet. And I don't have mana up to capsize with buyback, so that's fine. He actually has more cards well, sorry. He had more cards in library than we did, but right now I think my plan is to try and deck him, so I don't want to Deep Analysis myself yet. We're not behind on cards at all. Okay, is he flashing back Mystical Teachings? Yes, he is. So I might just take the opportunity to capsize my own Journey to Nowhere right now. And yeah, that's all. He's got 4 minutes left. Brainstorm. So is he out of counters? Stormbound Geist. Okay. So I'll go for this first. Disfigures his own guy. Okay, he did it at the wrong time, because the Journey hasn't entered play yet. So I think he's just basically playing way too fast. He's rushing. So this should actually work this time. Okay, he concedes. Alright, so I think we were pretty much in the lead, though. His clock and the misplays, I think, factored into him wanting to concede there. But we're 1-1 now, so thank you guys very much for watching. Hi, folks. Welcome to round number 3 of this Pauper League. We are going to be on the draw, and this hand is definitely keepable. Opponent has immediately mulliganed to 5 and keeps a 5-card hand on the play. Puts a card on top. Plays a mountain. Looks like it might be a burn deck. Oh, Foundry Street Denizen. So it's Goblins. I'm just going to kill that right away. And we actually get the luxury of being able to kill the second creature also. On top of that, our opponent has mulliganed to 5 cards. So I think that puts us in a decent position, though this could be a War Marshal or something. Now, even though Sparksmith is not a huge threat to us, I'm still going to cast Journey to Nowhere here. And then that frees up our plays in subsequent turns, now that there's really no pressure on us. Okay, his hand is not entirely threatening at the moment. Let's go ahead and preordain. So we don't want all of this draw. At best, we're going to preordain again this turn or play Prism. So I think I might actually keep the Artificer's Epiphany, though I could just keep I could keep neither. I think I'll keep the Epiphany so that we can replenish resources. And then I'm actually going to preordain this turn and maybe find a 1-mana removal spell. There's a counter spell, but next turn we're probably drawing some cards, and we're kind of behind on the board if he plays a couple guys next turn. So I'm going to bottom both, and now I'm just going to pass. We did end up drawing into a land, which I don't love. Okay. And there's Mystical Teachings, which can get us a removal spell. Or we could just draw 2 cards. I'm going to draw 2 cards. What I'm going to do is end up casting Teachings next turn and using the removal spell in the same turn. It doesn't do anything for us right now. We could also just play Muldrifter out. He's representing some burn, though. So getting a Righteous Blow means he can sacrifice a guy to make this bigger. So maybe I'll try and kill that. Now he has a bunch of guys. So we're taking, what, 7 from this. So I think maybe we do want to play Muldrifter. However, his last card appears to be just a bolt, which means we're going to go to 9. We do get the 2 cards. If he plays any other creature, I think we'll use our mana a little more efficiently here and play the Muldrifter. Okay. More expensive stuff. I don't love that. Yeah, he's definitely burning this. Okay. So I'm going to 9. And his board is looking insane. So, what do we do now? Well, I could play Oblivion Ring. If he has another Bushwhacker, that's 9 exactly. I don't think we can play around that. I kind of like Prism, O-Ring, Tranquil Cove. And that sets up just about everything we need. So maybe Epiphany's better. Ooh. So I can do both now. Okay, I kind of like this. So I'm going to take care of the Sledder. That way this Righteous Blow works. It's a little bit more damage, but The other option is to use Righteous Blow on the Sledder, but then he just sacks it to get more damage through. I think this is correct. So I don't think there's really any point for him to do that. Okay, this is not looking horrible. Okay, so I guess I'm killing that. I'm going to 5. Then I can Teachings for a last breath and gain a life. No, I'm going to 4. I'm going back up to 5. Can Teachings for a last breath. And he kind of has to have nothing there. Oh, I can last breath before attacks, which buys me some time. Yeah, maybe I do that. Okay. Yeah, this kind of fogs for a turn, which is pretty sweet. Okay, so I'm just going to respond now. And I'm probably doing like the same thing next turn. Could also Echoing Truth these. Oh, they can attack. I'm so dumb. They can attack together. So I actually just die here. Wow, that was so bad. Unbelievable. He actually let me stay target creature. Okay. So Echoing Truth doesn't work because he can sack. I'm going up to 3. What does Preordained do? I don't know what Preordained does, but I'm going to cast it. Wow, that was so bad. I go to 3, and then he just goes around. How do I stay alive? Echoing Truth is not good enough. Neither is Muldrifter. Bottom. O-Ring. Wow, I totally flubbed this up. Teachings doesn't get anywhere. Yeah, I really screwed this up. Wow. So if I draw 2 cards, I don't think that matters. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Teachings doesn't do anything that I can think of. Alright, I guess we just have to concede. Well, that was really disappointing. I guess I'll just O-ring something and hope that's good enough. Maybe he'll skip his attack. That's like our best bet. Wow, that was so lame. That was so silly. There was no reason to lose this game. Alright. Well, let's go to game 2. Just forget about that. We'll just pretend like that didn't happen. So I don't think Dispel's very good. Nor do I think Counterspells. Capsize a little expensive. This is expensive but necessary. We've got Hydroblast, Sunlance, Gut Shot, Oblivion Ring, Serrated Arrows. We have Circle of Protection Red. And that seems pretty awesome, actually. This other stuff, not thinking I'm going to want, so yeah, let's try this. This is pretty epic. He did beat us on a Multi 5, which is pretty epic in and of itself. That we just played pretty poorly there. That was not pretty. So we have a bunch of spot removal now. Let's play first. And we will keep. A lot of 1-mana answers here. So we'll start there. Probably Sunlance his turn 1 play. And then leave up Hydroblast for later. Might be something important we want to deal with. Oh, now I can do both. So, yeah, let's go ahead and set up the Preordain as well. Or I can just leave up Hydroblast. How about that? Yeah, that seems better. Against Mog War Marshal or something, we might want to do that. Yep, I'll go ahead and just counter this. He might have Pyroblast. And, yep, just remove this as well. Make sure he can't get a word in edgewise. This time he did let us exile it, which I think is probably correct. Okay. So he's got plenty more where that came from. I'll preordain first. And I'll take the journey. I don't think I need the bog. And I'll go for cohort. So now we're really hoping for some way to draw cards, extra cards. Ooh, Mog War Marshal, huh? Well, I'm going to go after that Mog Raider. See if he's probably going to sack the guy now. Yeah, so it leaves him with 2 tokens that hopefully we can get rid of with Echoing Truth or something. We also have the option of just using this O-ring on a token. At this point, I guess we might as well. Oh, I don't have the mana for that. Never mind. My mistake. Okay. Okay. I mean, he's just really threat dense here. So I think I'd rather remove a creature than draw 2. He's just got threats upon threats. Only drew 2 lands to our 5, so... Ugh. This is heinous. Now we need Echoing Truth. Yep, 14. And we drew that just in time. So let's do this. And I guess we're going to cast Journey and hope we don't take too much damage here. And hopefully Mole Drifter can roadblock him. But we might be taking 10 from Bushwhacker. Okay, we're going to 3. And he may have a lightning bolt. So if I hard cast this, what can I possibly draw? Echoing Truth? So I have to evoke it. I have to evoke it and hope that that's good enough. And it's not good enough. So at this point, we have to hope he misses his attack. And that's about it. Guess that's not going to happen. So we're going pretty low here in the tournament, going 1 and 2. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. We'll see you for the next match. Hi folks, this is round number 4. Let's play. We are going to play first. Sand's keepable, not insane, but try it out. Having 7 drops in the opener is not our favorite thing. Okay, is it a Delver? Alright, well we at least get to deal with it. Yeah, let's just do that. See what flavor of Delver this might be. Little difficult to tell. Might be mono blue, might be blue red. Blue red. Let's preordain. Probably want both of those. So I'm expecting a Cyclops next turn. We can O-ring it or a Kiln Fiend. I guess that's possible as well. And oops, that's not what I want to cast. So I think we're fairly safe here because we're going to get to untap with Mystical Teachings. So see what he did. Topped them both. So one of them was probably the land because he missed a land drop. I was going to feel the wrath of double Eldrazi. We're pretty far away from casting. We need to hit 2 land drops in a row here. Okay, he just passes, and we, right on time, draw a Mole Drifter. I'm just not sure if I want to cast that. It's pretty clear that he has Nivix Cyclops, so my only concern is, does he have a an untapped land to protect it with? I think I'm actually just going to draw the cards. Just burns it right away, that's fine. Okay. So now I can alright, I can Teachings into Last Breath immediately. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which takes me off of, I guess if he has Mutagenic Growth, this plan really blows, but it's the only way that it blows So I think I'll just do it. And it does take me off of casting Processor on time. But I think it's worth the risk. I think it's worth it just because Cyclops sticking around for a turn is just way, way too dangerous. Here's another threat. So hopefully I can preordain into an answer. It looks like he's got Apostle's Blessing up as well. But if I cast Processor, Apostle's Blessing doesn't get around it. Unfortunately, don't have the land for it, so we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. So, this is really close. I think I want to leave up Teachings for Dispel, or Righteous Blow would actually work too. So we're definitely doing that, and because we're going to use the Teachings, we'll bottom the journey, because we're going to shuffle anyway. Alright, so this looks pretty salvageable here. Stop there as well. So he's got a shot at taking me out. Now he's going to use Gitaxian Probe, which I guess is just going to have to happen. Because he doesn't know what we can Teachings for. He's going to have to guess. And most people, I would imagine, are not aware of the fact that there is a 1-mana white removal spell at instant speed that will basically kill his guy. So he found a land, so now he can Battle Rage and have up Apostle's Blessing. So I think I have to use the Kiln Fiend. He's going to gut shot me. And now he's going to attack. Threatening 10. So now here comes Battle Rage. So I'm going to dispel that. Because Righteous Blow loses outright to Apostle's Blessing here, but Dispel only drops us to 8, and then we get Ruined Processor, which he can't Blessing around it. It's colorless and it's not an artifact. Could play Sunlance, but it's just too much of a risk. So let's just go ahead and process. And we have 2 of these, so that's looking good. I'll free up the Journey because it's cheaper. I don't think there's any way he's getting guys back from his graveyard regardless. So this should work pretty well. I mean, he could get Double Strike and Trample. I guess maybe that's a thing. See, this is not going to do anything. Well, I mean, it might do something, but that part doesn't work. It's not an artifact. So that's a pretty big mistake from him. Maybe he was just doing that to try and get through. And I have an extra land, so now we just Sunlance and play the Processor. Seems like the best play. I can Teachings up new stuff. New removal spells like Last Breath or Capsize would be great as well. This game is basically just over. Yeah, game is all the way over. attack. I can even Echoing Truth my own guy. It's not really necessary. I'll just leave up Teachings for a counter spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And that's game. Cool. So let's go to the next. So we still like Dispel. I think Capsize is a little expensive. Repeal might also be. Righteous Blow is okay. Last Breath is okay. Gotta cut something here. Maybe the Deprive is a little too much. We want the O-Ring. We want Sunlance, Hydroblast. Like, we want a lot of this, actually. Definitely want Hydroblast. So Echoing Truth, I suppose, is not what we want. I think we'll take the 1-mana answer before playing the 2-mana answer. That seems about how we want it. 4 counterspell on the draw might be ambitious, but I mean, this does answer a Cyclops after he casts it, but so do these. This kills everything except a Cyclops. This kills everything except a Delver, but it's situational because he can pump the power, but I think I'm still going to do it. I think that's going to be how we leave it. So we cut out Capsize too. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's try it. We have too many cards in the sideboard to bring in for this matchup. I'll keep it. The counterspell is a little off curve, but I think I hit keep already. Maybe not. So it's F8. Definitely play a blue source first, but a blue and white source because of the Sunlance. So if he plays Kiln Fiend, we have an answer. Okay, looks like he's still setting up. So I guess I'll play the Backwater next. So he bottomed twice, and now he's topping once. So I'll just play the Backwater. This is really awkward. Ugh. Well, I'm going to gain 2, and I'm going to leave up Counterspell. And hopefully that's good enough. It's really awkward. I mean, Dispel could just destroy us here. I mean, we have the answers. We just need to untap. He knows he's pretty much free to just go for the attack. But we do have a counterspell if he goes for Epiphany. But that's also okay. Yeah, I don't think he can do anything to us. This feels pretty safe. Just attack me, come on. Come on, do it, come on! He has 5 cards. Could be rough. So I go to 17. Now I have a Dispel. I have to try for the Sunlance. He's going to counter. I'm going to actually let it resolve. And then next turn, I'm going to O-ring with Dispel. Because right now, Dispel just beats us. I guess Dispel beats us next turn anyway. Well, not necessarily. We'll see. Okay. He has Shadow. Ugh. All these land drops are scary. It just means he can do more than we're actually prepared for. Play a creature. Alright. So I think he's going to dispel this, unfortunately. But if he doesn't, then we just really do a lot. Okay, so now we have to kill the Cyclops and leave up Dispel. We're still in decent shape here. Our lands have drawn us so much mana. It's pretty insane. He's going to bolt me, which means I'm going to go to 12 and he deals 4, which drops me to 8. Okay. I guess I'm just playing around Battle Rage at this point. Alright, there's a good one. And then there's an O-ring. I'm going to top the counterspell just in case he whiffs on threats for a turn. I think we got him. Now the hope is that he whiffs on threats for just one turn. Preordain. Great top deck as always. Bottom. And he found a threat. Wow. That could be devastating. I'm going to draw like this so I don't have to discard. But maybe that's incorrect. Found a Journey. I think we can risk leaving up Counterspell and waiting one more turn to Journey this. I think we can risk that. Because if his last card could just be another Blessing, maybe. I don't think it is. I think it's a blank. He did not even find an instant or sorcery. So he might have Dispel in hand. That's seeming kind of likely. Alright, well. Could also have Pyroblast. I think I actually want to start here. Okay, he just has nothing. This is his... He's passing the turn now? Okay, fine. Alright, our position looks much better now. It's going to be pretty hard to lose. But he did keep both cards. Cool. So we do need to find finishers and stuff, but otherwise, I think we're looking okay. Yep, we got all the answers in the world. We just need a circle of protection to finish them off at this point. Or mystical teachings, that might do it. Basically never tap out again. Sure. Check it out. Okay, this is very good for us. Sure. Kind of wish I had a capsize here, but I don't have it in my deck. He's going to counter that. Okay. So now I'll go for last breath. And that's in case I draw Ruin Processor. Okay, here comes Apostle's Blessing number 3. Oh, burning me. Burning me. So now I have to play around double bolt, even though it's highly unlikely. Okay. I'm going to flash this back. And I'm going to get another teachings. And I'm going to kill this. That's fine. I'm going to get something else. Guess just another counter spell. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's journey this. So I can get either Dispel, Hydroblast, or Artificer's Epiphany. So this is fine. I'll O-ring it. I guess I'll get... Guess I'll get Hydroblast. And we can preordain as well. 3, 6, 7. Yeah, I'll take both. Leave up double counterspell. Never bad. And I think the game is definitely over. Sure. He's got 4 counterspells to overcome and the Mole Drifter. Does have 2 cards though, so we gotta Not tap too low, though we are gaining a bunch of life. Ooh, and that should do it, but I'm going to wait till I can back it up with 2 counters. Probably no way we lose at that point. Flame slash to my creature. Okay. Pretty sure we can still win here. Three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9. So I'll just play the circle out. And then next turn we'll do some stuff. Just have way too many answers for this deck. Way too many. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'll play Processor next turn, and that will pretty much close the game out. All right, and he concedes. So we take that match. That was seemed like a great matchup just based on that match we just played. So thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll talk to you later. All right, guys, one more for the road. We are on the draw, and I think we can keep. This deck doesn't seem to mulligan too poorly, so we can remove a creature on turn 2, or leave up counterspell if he's kind of slow. So either one of those things could happen. He's a mountain, though. Could be burn. Okay, this is not bad for us. I think burn is a decent matchup. So let's see what happens. We want to play the Cove first so that I can have up counterspell. It's going to be likely more important than having up Journey. So he's just going to pass, which allows us to leave up counterspell. And we're going to counter whatever he does so long as it deals about 3 damage. And he doesn't do anything. So that's even better for us. Plays a land. And it might be Curse. I'm not sure what else costs 2. Looks like he's just going to pass. Seems very odd. Sure. So we go back up to 20 now. I hope he's really flooded. So it's his turn. Playing Curse, I'm going to counter it. And now we will cast Divination. There's our land. So next turn we can either play Muldrifter or get a Dispel and use it, or do something else. Feels really good being at 20 on turn 5. So now we're going to Journey that for sure. Not sure what else we're going to do. Could just play Tranquil Cove. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think Divination we go down to 7 cards up to 9. Play a land 8. We'll stay at 7 basically. I think we can evoke 1. There's also a chance we find a Journey, or sorry, a Sunlance. Okay, we have a Crossroads coming down. That's next turn, though. So we're going to 19, and then he has free reign for a couple turns. But he might just run out of steam. Needle drop. Okay, what now? We can still leave up Teachings for Dispel if we want. Also just preordain. We're at 15. I'm going to preordain. We're going to go up to 17. Last Breath is interesting because we can use it on Muldrifter, but I'm not going to actually keep it. That's a good draw. He did nothing on our end step. We're at 17. He has 3 cards. He's pretty flooded on 6 lands. So this looks phenomenal. I am going to cast Mystical Teachings just to get another counterspell. Then I think I might actually wait a turn on... Oh no, I drew a land, so I'm not going to wait a turn. I'm just going to cast this. By the time we get to Ruin Processor, the game's going to be over. So that's going to be great. I think we have to discard. So that's okay. I will discard the Azorius Guild Gate. Still not doing anything. And we're at 17. So this looks like Searing Blaze, but I am going to counter it anyway. And what's this? Another Searing Blaze. Yeah, he's been sitting on those for a while. It makes sense. Okay, we're at 11. But not really low enough to be too worried. I think I'll cast this first before I do anything else. There's a chance I might just play a tapped land. Well, we found an island, so I think now I will. And this capsize basically seals the deal because we can gain 2 life every turn. So just counter that now. I could have used Deprive, but I think we'll just use the capsize on our own. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, this is pretty disgusting. I think actually I'll just do it now. I mean, we can wait too. I guess we can just wait. No big deal. There's not really anything you can do about this. That's fine. We have plenty of answers. Pretty great. Well, the backwater does let us flashback Teachings. I guess that's somewhat relevant. So I'm just going to leave up Deprive, actually. Or not. What is this? What is the meaning of this? Yeah, let's counter it. We'll get back the Crossroads. It's tough out here for a burn player, guys. It's really tough. They just... I mean, even our lands are antithetical to their game plan. Pretty much everything we have outside of these creature removal spells are working against them. And we have up Teachings. And he concedes. There's really no way he's getting past Capsize with Crossroads. So, let's take a look at some things we might want to be cutting. I like Last Breath just because in a pinch we can use it on our own Muldrifters to gain some life. I don't think Echoing Truth is very good. Capsize was cute there, but I don't know if it's worth it. Righteous Blow doesn't do very much. Journey to Nowhere is an expensive way to deal with Keldon Marauders when we already have the Sun Lances to do that same job. So, look at all this amazing sideboard action we get to throw into our deck. I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. Don't want Gut Shot. Don't want Repeal, really. Yeah, I think this is it. The O-Rings are for Curse. Hydroblast deals with it as well. We have 5, 9, 10 counter spells after board. That's phenomenal. Circle of Protection Red obviously wins the game. And yeah, just a bunch of other filler to kind of draw cards. So I think this is what we want. Let's submit the deck. And I'm not sure if it took. I think yeah, I got it. So he's keeping. We are. I think we're gonna have to mulligan. We're gaining life, but we're not casting anything. So I'm gonna mulligan. And this hand is even worse. We have to mulligan this. And this we can keep, but we need a blue source. And that is a blue source. So there's a chance we can win this, but it's not looking amazing. Guess we'll see. Ooh, that would have been great if he had accidentally skipped his land drop. And I'm really hoping it's not a turn 2 curse, but could very well be. That might be one of the reasons you keep a 7 card hand. Okay. That guy's going to be kind of a problem as well. Hopefully we'll find something to deal with him eventually. But that is just free damage that we're getting hit with. So even if we had bottomed the Guild Gate, we still would have found a blue source. Okay. Okay. What next? I may hold off on the Crossroads, actually. He's going to attack. Yep. Usually just activate the guy. Gets around a number of things. Now we have Teachings, but I don't think that really matters. I think we're just going to leave up this. And what I mean by that is we're probably not casting Teachings on turn 4 with him throwing all this burn at us. So I'm going to dispel whatever he does. I'm going to counter this as well. Ooh, he must have like extra lands in hand if he's doing that kind of nonsense. So that's definitely buying us some time, as is the Kabir Crossroads. Needle dropping us. Alright, so he didn't have the lands. I'm still going to play Kabir Crossroads. I really don't see him doing nothing to the point where we'd want a Teachings. And now we can Teachings for Hydroblast and use it on turn 5. So he found a land there. Yep. Just passes, okay. Now I have double counterspell available. And our hope is that he just floods out and we can draw a Circle of Protection. Wow. Yeah, we're countering this mostly for the deal 3. The fact that it kills a land, I don't think matters that much. Just keep countering stuff. Use our mana as efficiently as we can, because they're using their mana very efficiently as well. And we just pass. I mean, basically all we can get here is Hydroblast. We don't have anything too monumental. I don't think Capsize is still in the deck. Guess we could also get Outwit, because it's a narrow answer. Hydroblast can obviously kill that guy. Oh, we do have Capsize. Oh well, I'm not going to get it. I'm going to get the Outwit. So this is buying us some time, but we're still under pressure. And our mulligan to 5 means we're short at least 2 resources here that could have been very helpful to us. Okay, well that answers the Fire Slinger. So our position is actually okay right now. It's really going to depend on the draws of each player here. He might be sitting on Searing Blaze. And we're going to start drawing cards. Just X out of that for now. I will get back to that individual. And we do have mana. Oh, sorry, we do now have a black source to flashback Teachings. So he might be a little short on action. If this is a curse, that kind of sucks, but we can deal with it. Alright, so now I'm going to 7. And I only have 5 lands in play. Okay, that's not a terrible draw. So let's just go ahead and pass. Yeah, that's not too bad, but we are at 7, which is kind of bad. So let's hope this works. Could be sitting on Pyroblasts as well. Okay, that bought us a little bit of time. And we are 1 turn off from flashing back Teachings. I actually think I will get a Capsize at this point. Could be correct to get another Teachings. Okay, I'm at 5. And there is a Capsize. Maybe I just do that now. Is it worth it just to go up 2 life every turn? The alternative is leaving up Teachings, but we can't cast anything that same turn, so I think it's a little bit better. It's kind of weird, but based on our mana situation, I think it's about the best we can do right now. Three mana, Rift Bolt. So does he have the Fire Blast? Yep, he does. Okay, so we're going to game 3. I think our setup is quite good against him, though, so he does have Smash to Smithereens in his deck, but don't think there's a lot we can do about that. Can't really board out of artifacts. So I just had to deal with it. And yeah, we'll just keep the configuration as is. We have 10 answers to Keldon Marauder, so I'm not worried about playing too many creature removal spells. And this hand, again, is a mulligan. It's a little unfortunate we're having these mana issues. And this, I guess I'll keep. I don't really want to go to 5. He, fortunately for us, went to 6. And I do get to use the scry rule. He goes to 5, so that's good. This is too far away from casting right now. So we're going to bottom. And yeah, this hand is not phenomenal. He put a card on top. And we're going to start the game. Basically going to hold off on playing artifacts until the very last minute. I am going to probably use Muldrifter as a divination here. Now, some interesting things could happen. I mean, at any point that we draw circle, I think the game's kind of over. But who knows? Okay, there's a good draw. So that's the beginning of our good fortune here. Going to get a counter his next play, then draw 2 cards. We might even draw a circle at some point. Alright, it's a little awkward to not do anything. I'm not sure if I want a divination or not. I guess I'll just leave up the Hydroblast. And then next turn I can cast divination if he still doesn't do anything. Okay, I'm going to use the Hydroblast. He might cast Smash to Smithereens. That would be kind of rough. But we're both pretty choked on resources. And that kind of sucks for us. I think I am going to cast Divination. There's nothing we can teachings that really gets us out of getting hit for 3. So this at least can maybe get us a Sunlance or a Hydroblast. Okay. That's interesting, but we don't have lands to do anything with it. Last Breath on our own Muldrifter might end up being something we do. So we're going at least to 13. Okay, we're going at least to 10. Rift Bolt, which we're going to end up countering. So I guess I preordained this turn. We definitely want to land. I'm going to keep both. We're countering the Rift Bolt. I'm not sure what else is going to happen here. Looks like he's going for that first. So this game's looking winnable. It's going to be real close. We will have teachings with the spell backup. I mean, there's going to be kind of a hairy situation here for these next 2 turns. So it looks like I'm going to have to just teachings up a Hydroblast and kill that. Pretty much immediately. I'll just do it right away. After I draw the Dispel, of course. We're looking actually pretty good because we can gain 4 at a certain point in time by evoking this and then exiling. There it is. Blow that up. And yeah, if he uses all his mana, then we know we can make that play. Which is a pretty awesome play. The last breath's not doing a lot. Okay, incinerate. So yeah, we'll just do it now. We know we are safe to do that. I think it's definitely worth it. Hopefully draw an island as well. We kinda do. Yep. Alright, so can we use this to spell? I'm hoping we can. We do have an O-ring for another curse or another creature. So that's also quite great. That's a sorcery. So I can't do anything about that. That's an instant, however. And we have a counter spell, so we're kind of in a good spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm actually just going to evoke you. Okay, so now we have our teachings. Things are coming together, guys. So we actually don't want to capsize this. I think we're just leaving up flashback. 2, 4, 6. Because he can cycle with it, is what I'm saying. Did he just play a land? Okay, so we can flash this back. I'll get another teachings. Alright, we're taking over this game, baby. Alright. It's going to be very hard to lose. Get another counter spell. Two, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can start capsizing stuff, but it just doesn't do a lot. I mean, we can gain life incrementally each turn. I think I maybe flashback teachings first, though. Or not. I think we can just start capsizing. Three, 6, 8. I think I will just use this. Okay, I got a bunch of stuff we don't really need. I'm not going to tap out for capsize here. He should also be holding lands in case he draws Searing Blaze. Unless he boarded them out or something. Maybe there's a point to that. So yeah, now I don't know what I'm getting with this teachings. I have my capsize, like maybe just another counter spell. Pretty much have this game, so yeah, I guess I get Deprive. Let's do it. Counter target anything. And looks like we're going to have to counter some stuff. I could also capsize this Prophetic Prism. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll just pitch 2 Sun Lances, that's fine. think I'm a little more comfortable gaining a life. Shard Volley. He's been stockpiling. So this is death by 1,000 cuts, just gaining a life every turn. It's not too efficient, but I am going to do it again. Even though I can only counter one thing here. He doesn't really seem to be doing much. And now the game's over. I don't think he'll have any way to stop Circle of Protection Red. So, pretty much a massacre here. Yep, he's just going to pass 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have to do anything here. Here I'll draw 2. More cards, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I have 8 in hand. So I guess I'll pitch the last Sunlance. So there's really nothing that can deal damage to me. 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess I'll capsize. Maybe I'll just start drawing cards now. He doesn't seem interested in conceding, so I'm just going to have to find a way to win the game now. And likely just going to be Ruin Processor, so I'll just bottom everything else. And 8. Guess I'll pitch the land here. I'm guessing his plan is for me to mill out, but that one I'll just counter. Could just O-ring it, but he's just wasting cards now. Yep, that's how it works. I could have just saved the counter spell and activated this and then O-ringed the curse. Don't think it's going to matter. We actually don't have any of his cards exiled to process, but having just a 7/8 I think might be good enough anyway. Guess he's just going for it. So do I cast Capsize? It's not really necessary. We know he's going to be wasting those 2 cards. And there's not a lot else to say, so I'm just going to let the game play out. We're obviously just going to activate Circle each time, and he's just never going to deal us any damage. So take that. And looks like he's just passing now. So 2. I will go ahead and capsize my Prophetic Prism. Hopefully does not get smashed. It didn't. We are down to 18 cards, but we'll find an answer, don't you worry. There he is. He's not going to gain us life, though. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm actually going to wait one more turn before I cast him, because I want to have a double counter spell to try and protect him in case a bunch of burn spells get thrown out. Oh, I guess Last Breath is just not really doing anything. Yeah, we'll let that resolve. I can actually just capsize it as well, too. Why don't I do that? If I O-ring it, though, then I have a target for... Oh, it's a creature, though. No, it's a card. Alright, I guess I can O-ring it, then. In the meantime, I'll do that. Then when this happens, I'll circle it. Right. Now, O-ring. 3, 4, 5. I guess I can... Again, I will wait one more turn. I want to have a bunch of counter magic up to protect the Ruin Processor. So this is getting pretty ugly for him. I'm going to kind of speed things along a little bit. And this will be our win condition. Got plenty of removal spells to stop him from killing it. Or sorry, counter spells. And just have to attack him 3 times. No reason to tap low with our mana here. This is a massacre. All of our cards are very good against him. I mean, the O-rings right now are not really doing anything, but it's just nothing he can do. So I'm just going to attack. This thing is a big hulking mass of tendons and bones. It's going to be pretty painful. What do I capsize here? I mean, probably nothing, but... That's a good draw, too. Let's do that. Oh, he's going for it. He's making his move. Okay, put 3 on it. Put 3 more on it. I mean, I can almost let it resolve, but I'm not going to. I'm definitely fighting over this. We can almost counter every card in his hand. Actually, we can, because we still have a capsize. even though it's not with buyback. So it looks like we just stopped that dead in its tracks. Another circle. I don't think we need 2. I'm not sure what 2 does. We'll just leave it at that. That's fine. So now we can capsize the processor and gain life if we ever need to do that, but I doubt it. I think with him at 6 and only 2 lands in play, and us already having Counterspell at the ready, there's pretty much no way he can get out of this situation. I mean, it's possible we can even just kill him with Muldrifter at this point. So we've seen almost all of our deck. I have 8 cards left in library. That's fantastic. And he concedes. All right, guys. Well, looks like we are going to, again, have a 3-2 record. So that means we break even. We get some nice sample data here. All of our opponents were, pretty much known quantities in the metagame. And we performed, I think, quite well against this burn deck as well as Izzet Fiend. And then the other matchups were kind of hit or miss. The really fast aggressive decks like Stompy and Goblins were the ones that ended up beating us. And then we did win the 5th match, which is, I can't quite remember what it was. Oh, it was the Delver Gurmag Angler deck. So you can kind of see that we have this super late game plan that some of the decks, it seems, just based on this information, are able to go underneath. And if they have a very fast and assertive game plan, it can be problematic. However, if they're slightly slower, seems like we're pretty well positioned to deal with that. So I want to thank you guys very much for tuning in to this installment of Dime a Dozen.